2, 1. Ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. 815.
Listen, you already know this, business owners, but I'm going to fill you in anyway. Business owners, you're not saving any money by buying that thin toilet paper. People are still doubling and tripling that stuff up anyway. So just get the good stuff. Just get the good stuff. I'm Greg. He's Tom. This is your In Crowd 815 podcast for the second day of November, the year 2024, the latest it's ever been
in the history of mankind. I'm guessing you're speaking from experience on that, buddy?
I was just at airports. I was just at airports the last weekend, and
hold up your right hand.
The thinnest toilet paper you could possibly buy is in the airport stalls. And
okay, so it's that thin stuff. Like Walmart has it. The thin stuff. Oh my God! And I don't mean thin ply. I mean like 3 inches wide instead of 4 or 5. Oh God, it drives me nuts, and it's not absorbent. Okay, how about those Packers, dude?
Oh, man. You want to jump right into that, do you?
I just want to get off that conversation, but yeah, we could. We could. I would love to.
Go Pack, go! Big challenge for the Packers this weekend, and we'll probably talk a little bit about that at the end of our program today. But we do still have a show for you and the person still sleeping next to you. So give a little elbow. Here you go, Tom. Boom! Right. Ooh, this looks dangerous. Boom! I hit the bear.
There you go. Oh,
wake up! We're doing the show, and we're going to have Kelli and Tammy on from the Nick's Wish Foundation and the big event coming up in December. We are just over 1 month away from the final In Crowd 815 event of the year, and it'll be at Cliffbreakers Event Center. So we'll talk about. Isn't he
adorable?
That. He's adorable.
How could anybody not like stuffed animals?
Everyone knows you do. That's the important part.
Yeah, just round. Stuffed animals and Green Bay Packers.
I am going to do this before we do anything else. Here we go. Our current race to 10 is really racing. You guys have already both up to 6 points. It's already 6-6.
I think we've only missed 1 week.
Yeah. You guys are doing great with our race to 10 this time. I gotta start throwing some roadblocks in your way. Maybe this will be the roadblock this week. 220 billion is the big number of the week this week, and the answer is vacuum or virtual. Vacuum or virtual, and put the answer in the comments. Let us know what you think it might be.
Vacuum or virtual?
I'm the CVO of my house. Are you the CVO of your house?
Chief Vacuuming Officer?
Chief Vacuuming Officer right here. Yes. I'm usually
I'm the CSO at my house. Chief Sweeping Officer. I don't have carpet. I have hardwood floors.
There you go. That's important too.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think we have any other business to attend to before getting to our guest. So what do you say we bring on our guest and get started?
I'm actually my phone didn't charge last night, so I'm charging it. So I'm over here doing my thing. So sorry about that. It won't reach because I'm trying to text a guy named Greg Saunders. I have to text my guests.
Vacuum or virtual? All right, we'll be looking for that to come through the text messages. Big event coming up in December, and let's bring on. At least it looks like Tammy's ready to jump on with us this morning. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm about to reveal you to the world. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Click. There we go. Good morning.
There we are.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tammy.
How are you guys?
We are wonderful.
Good.
Office at home. Look at that. That looks wonderful back there.
That is cool. I like the lighting. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. I'm big on lighting, as anyone who is at the karaoke trivia contest knows, we had some nice lighting going on there for that. Although one of the things we learned, we do need better stage lighting in the front, so because it was kind of dark for people to see actual people singing. That's one of the things I want to improve upon for the next event when we do that. Is not necessarily a spotlight, but at least better lights on the front of the stage. So,
Right.
yeah. Now, Tammy has been with Nick's Wish now for what, going on 2-3 years?
It'll be 3 years the end of this month.
3 years the end of this month.
Yeah.
What an experience you have been able to be a part of these last few years. For those who don't know, let's start from the beginning. Who is Tammy English? What have you done in the past, and what kind of led you to being involved with Nick's Wish?
So I've been in nonprofit world for over 20 years. I've worked at RAMP, I've worked at Mosaic, I've worked at American Cancer Society. It all kind of started when I worked in the community relations department at Heartland Community Church years ago. And that kind of started my nonprofit journey. And I just find that I am driven by passion above all else. And so I love to get to do something every day that I'm just passionate and driven about. And yeah, almost 3 years ago, I saw an opportunity with Nick's Wish and started having conversations with Kelli and the team. And I was their first ever employee. So they've been around since 2012. Up until almost 3 years ago, there was 100% volunteer driven with no paid staff. And so they decided to take a leap of faith and bring on somebody that could hopefully help them bring it to a sustainable state, because Kelli's desire is that it's around as long as cancer is.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. We're working on building a sustainable model so we can be around. And we got some huge news down the pipeline that hopefully next year we'll get to share with you that will hopefully add to our sustainability efforts. And it's kind of been a project that is long in the works. And I think probably the only thing I can say about it right now is it has to do with the University of Alabama.
Nice.
Now, see, in the business, we call that a radio tease.
There you go.
Fair.
That's what I'm giving you.
It's not fair.
Roll Tide. That's all I can say.
No tide.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, and this is it true this year you doubled your staff at Nick's Wish?
So yeah, I'm 001 and we've brought on 002. We brought Moon on board, and she is our events and volunteer coordinator and doing a terrific job engaging our volunteers, organizing the logistics of events. So she's jumped in with both feet and she's going to be great.
Ever since you brought her on, she's been to, I think, every in-crowd event.
Yep.
I don't know that she's missed, but maybe one since you guys brought her on staff there. So we're very excited for her.
She really enjoyed the karaoke night. So she thought that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
That was exceptionally good. The whole thing.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Nick's Wish will have a team in the next event. So we're looking at April. We're going to nail down a date here, hopefully before January 1st, and say, well, here's what the next date and place and time and all that stuff. But so before we get into the December event for Nick's Wish, you guys had your 13th annual Nick's Home Run last month, and we're thankful that you allowed us to be a part of that and do our show from there. Now that you've been able to be a part, separate from that for a couple of weeks, have you been able to kind of run some numbers, to do some success reporting on how everything went?
Yes, definitely. So we broke our registration and participation records. We had 430 people that registered, and almost every single person who registered showed up that day.
Wow.
So that was from a person who's been doing nonprofit events for a long time. You usually count for about a 20% shortfall.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so that just really for us spoke to the commitment that our folks have to the mission, and especially this event. It is the event that started it all in 2012. That very first event, they raised enough money for 5 wishes. This year, we raised enough money for 10 wishes.
Nice.
Wow.
So $105,000. There's still a few donations trickling in here or there, but now we turn our focus to Giving Tuesday. Kind of some of the cool highlights is one of our wish recipients, Miguel, was actually the winner in his age group for the race. And so that was not only kind of like a runner's championship, but for him, a personal championship in his fight against cancer.
I'm gonna halt you just for real quick because I want people to understand what you just said.
Yeah.
One of your past wish recipients who battled cancer and won, thank the Lord, ran in Nick's home run 7. It's basically it's a 7K event, and he won his division.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. I mean, for all of us, it was just, it was so cool to see because we knew the fight was more than just the run that he ran that day.
Yeah.
And so to be able to see that victory and we had, several of our wish kids were out there speaking. Maddie comes out every year and speaks and brings Oliver. Oliver's the dog that she wished for. And so we get to watch Oliver grow up every year, and he comes and showcases his love for Madison. So it's just really cool to see we always say that, especially at Nick's home run, a lot of the wish families come out, and unlike a lot of organizations, it's kind of a one and done. You get the services and you move on. This just has an organic, people stick together. We stay connected with them. We know their stories. We know their treatments. Wish families who have lost loved ones, we stay connected with them. We invite them to events and just love on them. So that way they always know that they have a community. And I think for me, being in this kind of environment for so long, that has been super, super special.
Yeah. We often, especially with the emphasis these last few years on mental health, we often talk about bad addictions. I'd like to propose to everyone listening today, following in the steps of doing something doing something that causes a good addiction, getting addicted to good stories, and helping people like Nick's Wish does. I mean, here's this opportunity, like you say, it turns into something that's an organic thing that someone maybe gets turned on to what Nick's Wish does, finds someone that needs a wish, and they propose, they put up a name. Hey, this person is going through exactly what you guys service, and would you please consider their wish? They get a wish, and now it's okay. Who else can I help? Who else's story can I watch? Yes, there's a lot of sad stories that go along with this. Obviously, there's cancer involved, and yet there's the ability to do something to shed some light in a really dark place, and it's that. Let's get addicted to good stuff like that.
Yeah, I know there was a couple of super special moments at the event this year. I was on the golf cart tootling around checking on things and came up on the front gate, and one of the moms had her hands on the hands of her son that was in the picture who had passed from cancer. And it kind of just took my breath away, and I asked her if I could take that picture and hear her story. And she said, I do this every year. And she began to tell me a little bit about him. So she said, they always put his picture at the front gate for me, and I do this every year. And then not but 10 minutes later, I was driving around the path, and I saw one of my wish kids, Jalen, who I had worked on his wish and really got to know Jalen. And unfortunately, Jalen lost a horrible battle with osteosarcoma. And so I took a picture of his sign. We have these big wisher signs. And I sent it to his mom, and I said, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about Jalen today. She called me almost immediately, and she said, are you still by his sign? I said, yeah, I'm right here. And she said, can I FaceTime you? I said, absolutely. So I FaceTimed her, and she said, can you just touch his sign for me? And it was just a moment of silence. Nothing really was said. It was just, and so it's that kind of buildup. Like, we stay in touch. I stay in touch with mom, and always try to let them know, especially at the events when the kids' signs go up, hey, we're thinking about you.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to them just to know that their kids aren't forgotten.
No.
You're not supposed to make us cry this early in the morning.
Sorry, guys.
This is touching stuff because it's affected every one of us. And when it affects kids, and I consider a kid 21, 22, they're still kids. They're our kids, everybody's kids. It's really, 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 it almost drives it home even more. So God bless you guys for what you do. This is amazing stuff. But I have a question for you. You
Yeah.
say you raised 105,000, so roughly, 8 to 10,000 per wish.
Yeah.
What happens if something exceeds it a little bit? Somebody really wants to go to Hawaii. Somebody really wants to go to Disney, and it's going to be like 11,000. How do you work that out? Do you maybe grab some from another one that maybe only took 6,000 to do? Is there a plateau? Is there an absolute line where you say, well, we can't really cross that line?
So the standard for it's a great question, Tom. So the standard for a wish is we pay for all their food, we pay for all their lodging, we pay for their flights, transportation, so including a rental car, let's say Hawaii when they get to the island. We also give them a stipend of money because, as you know, Hawaii is expensive.
I don't know for sure, but I will take your word, and I hope to find out one day.
And these families are facing, horrible medical bills and stuff. So we try to alleviate all those costs. Now, flights and hotels, those costs are what they are. And we work with a couple travel agents who try to bring those costs down as much as they can. But what we really do is we focus on building relationships with some of the small businesses that provide excursions in Hawaii, to either get them to comp the excursions or to give us some deep discounts on them, because each wish trip also comes with 2 to 3 fun things to do. And that's to honor Nick, because Nick was all about fun. So we do try to keep it a Hawaii wish within a $10,000 budget. There are sometimes it might bump over a little bit, but we know we also have those wishes that aren't Hawaii and will stay well under a budget. Somebody who wants a computer system, we're not going to be spending that amount of money on it. So it kind of all averages out, but our wish makers are very diligent about trying to build those relationships and keeping the cost as close to budget as possible.
Yeah, it's nice to know that they're not just going on this trip; they're doing something that's the excursion. And you've told us about trips to Montana and to Florida and Hawaii and all these different things, and it's to California to see a concert. All these different wishes that you guys have seen.
We actually have a brand new wish application that just came in. So shout out to all the golfers. This young man is from Madison and he wants to go see the Masters. Ooh. If anybody has connections to help me get this kid to the Masters,
I'll call Tiger and see what he can do.
That would be great.
I don't like to use that, but hey. No, you know what? I do have a friend who's been to the Masters.
Oh.
I will touch base with him and see if there's a channel he knows of. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
In fact, he used to be, Greg knows him. His name's Nick. He used to be poised for the PGA Tour, but he was just got married, and then they had a baby on the way, and he decided not to go. He was sponsored and everything.
Oh,
I
wow.
will touch base with him, and I will let you know.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be great. Thank you.
That might be the ticket. That might be the ticket.
It
Speaking of tickets, I just put a link in the chat here for tickets for the December 4th In Crowd 815 final event of the year, our annual Christmas party and fundraiser event. And this year's fundraiser is all about Nick's Wish. Thanks to UW Health for being our premier event sponsor this year. Thank you. It's huge help we're getting from UW Health. And there's a lot of folks in the 815 area that were at Cliffbreakers back in the day, back in its heyday, and haven't been there in years because there's not been much going on there for years, but it's back and it's newly refurbished and the event space is beautiful. And we're really excited to be able to help show that off for Cliffbreakers. In so doing, having this event for Nick's Wish as a holiday fundraiser, a volunteer appreciation night, and obviously some fundraising as well. And the tickets are only $10.
Yeah.
they're only $10, and a lot of people are already buying their tickets. It's really cool to see how many people have already jumped on and said early on, hey, yep, I'm planning on be there, and I'm bringing friends. And for your $10, you're going to get some nice, fancy gourmet hors d'oeuvres. There will be a cash bar available as well, and some live music and a chance to network with some folks. I'm sure there'll be some other things up our sleeves to show off that evening, so I'm not going to divulge everything we're doing that night, but it's going to be a fun time. And 5:30 until it's done, probably 8:30. We'll see how long Cliffbreakers lets us stay. But this has been kind of in the works in your head for a long time, Tammy, and now we're finally bringing it to fruition in December.
Yes. So I'm super excited about that. We do a really great job of putting all these events together, and after each event, we try to make sure we say thank you to all the people that made it happen. But it's always kind of tied to an event, and we've just never had a moment where we all stop and pause and just bring donors and partners and volunteers in just to say, wow, guys, thank you. Just thank you.
Yeah.
And so I think, Greg, the In Crowd had chose us as their charity this year. And so after talking with Greg, I was like, what a cool opportunity to showcase In Crowd 815, partner with all the wonderful folks in that group, and also just to say thank you for all the people that make Nick's Wish possible. So, and to see the two groups kind of come together and really meet and get to know each other, I think will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. This should be a really great time, and this year has been something special in a lot of different ways. We've tried some different things this year for in-crowd events. Obviously, the whole karaoke trivia contest being the biggest swing for the fences that we took this year, and I think it hit a home run. Everyone I've talked to so far, it's been like, I want to be in it next year. So I think we hit a home run with that. But the annual December fundraiser event has been a staple for In-Crowd now for like 13, 14 years as well. And early on, it was different organizations were beneficiaries. We tried years where multiple organizations were beneficiaries. And this year, especially with the reopening of Cliffbreakers, it just kind of fell together in a way that was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense, not just for In-Crowd, but as Cliffbreakers kind of reemerges from its ashes, so to speak.
Yeah.
And as Nick's Wish has just turned into this, well, I mean, it's becoming a national powerhouse of a not-for-profit.
Yes.
It's really exciting to see that something started right here in the 815 is getting all this national notoriety, and I mean, you can recap it best, Tammy, the things that happened to Nick's Wish this year. Throw out some of the highlights for us.
I mean, if we start with just the CNN Heroes in 2023, Kelli being nominated in the top 20 for that. Then being on the Jennifer Hudson show, and Jennifer, really such a neat person, really hearing Kelli's story and then surprising her with a $10,000 check. And if you haven't seen that episode, like Kelli, none of us knew anything about a $10,000 check. Kelli almost jumped out of her skin.
She did. She was so excited.
Oh, that was a ton of fun. And then we've just had, just events, wishes, new partnerships, PCI Pharma right here in town. The mayor introduced us to them. He's like, gosh, do you guys know them? Like, they package cancer drugs. So we got an opportunity to speak with them, tell them about Nick's Wish, and now they've become terrific partners. UW Health, they have grown their partnership as they really got to know what it is we do with the young adults that have cancer. They used to be just a small donor. Now they are a very large partner. And it was kind of, I would say, due to the social workers, because the social workers were like, no, like Nick's Wish is the real deal. We see the results when these kids come back from these trips or get the things and the joy that it brings them. And we all know joy is good medicine.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we tell people, if you're looking at the holistic approach of healthcare, one of the holistic things that comes into that approach is happiness and joy. And so, our tagline is to bring joy.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our component of being part of that holistic healthcare in their cancer journeys.
And that's a conversation we really haven't had yet. That's a bunny trail we could really go down, especially if you brought a doctor on the show to talk about the fact that the wishes you guys are granting. Obviously, you have terminal cancer prognosis for these kids, right? And some of them are at the point where this wish might be the last month or the last weeks of their lives, right? And on the other side are those patients where yes, they're deemed terminal, but then like this wish comes along and it could add weeks and months and maybe even years to their lives. And that in the case of Miguel,
Yes.
he beats it
Yes.
and runs a race and wins a race.
Yeah.
There's so much there's so much potential positivity
Yeah.
from the wish granting process that we could talk about and
Yeah. And if
PCI
anybody, I would say if anybody ever wanted to be, kind of deep dive with us, be a wish maker. We'll walk you through it. And basically as a wish maker, you get to work with that wish kid and the family to help plan either dream trip or maybe they want a thing, but you get to help plan it. And in the planning process, you really get to know them. It's probably one of my favorite things. It's not required of my job, but I make sure that I always got a couple wishes on my table that I'm working on because it just keeps me connected to the wish kids, keeps me connected to why we do what we do. And, you build these lifelong friendships. Most of my wish families, I'll be friends with them forever.
Yeah.
So it's really a cool opportunity. You can do it from the comfort of your home. If it's something anybody's ever interested in looking into, I would love to talk to you about it. It's very rewarding.
I know this isn't the focus necessarily, but it makes for a wonderful story when it does happen. Are there any other Miguels? How many can you think of that have had the wish, but then beaten cancer?
Oh, we've got a lot. So all of our wishes are kind of for different reasons. Some of it is they need that respite in the midst of that fight against cancer. So we work with the doctors and we find a little point where the doctor says, okay, they can step aside for a week and go do this. And they need it because this next leg that they're about to go on is going to be a battle. Some of them, their celebrations, I think my very first wish that I worked on, this young lady, now I'm forgetting her name, Brenda, that I worked with. She said to me when somebody nominated her for a wish. Her wish got approved. I contacted her and she said, oh my gosh, she said, I beat cancer. I would hate to take a wish from somebody else. I don't think I need it. And I said, have you stopped to think, have you celebrated that though? She said, oh yeah, I rang the bell and, and I said, has your family had a chance to debrief and celebrate? And I said, I see, somebody said you might want to go to Hawaii. So fast forward, we get her and the family to Hawaii. She gets back. First thing she says to me, she said, I had no idea how much I needed it, but even more so, I had no idea how much my family needed it.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
We reconnected at a level outside of cancer. We were always together through cancer, but it was in a fight. So you're constantly in the boxing ring, but you're not building those relationships. You're boxing the enemy.
Yeah, it's a game of whack-a-mole. You're fighting one fight after another after another. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
that is an amazing story.
That was my favorite. I thought, sometimes, and you almost have to give them permission. So like, it's okay. You can go do this. You need to do. And then of course we have our last wishes. We just, it'll probably come up on our social media here in the next few days, but Hayden just went on his last wish. We were almost worried that he wasn't going to make it, but he went on a fishing trip. And so the pictures were absolutely wonderful. And we always tell the parents, make sure you take a lot of pictures. And we remind them even while they're on the trip, because they're not in that mode. They're just trying to be in the moment. We're trying to help them capture those last memories on camera so they can look back at those pictures and have those good memories. So it's kind of one of the part of the Wishmaker's job, just to making sure Hey, I know you're having a great time today. Hey, snap a couple pictures. Did you get a picture of them standing in the ocean? Did you get a picture of them doing that? So we try to do that as well.
And if they are the last memories, at least they're good memories, and the
Yes.
family can live on with that. So
Yes.
that is a wonderful story. That's encouraging. It's very, very encouraging to know that just because Nick's Wish is involved, it's automatically means someone's going to pass away. It's not necessarily it.
No.
I
no.
love that. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love that story.
Yeah. Yeah. 18
Yeah.
to 24. The only real requirements is you're diagnosed between the ages of 18 to 24. You send us a picture. You let us use your story and your pictures in our social media and stuff. And you get a verified note from either your oncologist or your social worker confirming your diagnosis.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the stipulations.
One other thing that's on my heart right now, I have one of my absolute best friends is an oncology nurse. And I asked her, a few times, I said, do you ever have a day where it's just not so depressing, downers? Because every patient you deal with has cancer. And she said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, yeah, there are a lot of good success stories.
Yeah.
And that really warmed my heart. And because it's working in a field like that, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Let's have a pizza party at the end of the day. Well, not really. I don't feel like having a pizza party. It's kind of a bad thing to have, right? That type of a job.
Probably my favorite success story is so Madison is our Florida Wish angel. So she's kind of a spokesperson for us, and she holds a golf outing in Florida. Well, her brother Max was a Wish recipient, and he had a horrible, horrible cancer. Well, now Max has passed cancer, and the family has been so passionate about Nick's Wish. They said, we want to start a golf outing to make sure other kids get wishes. And that's awesome. But Max has now gone on to become an oncology nurse.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So talk about taking like your demon and like, okay, I'm making good out of it. I mean, and it's been cool because so the last golf outing that we just had in Florida, the money raised from there went to a Wish kid who was Max's patient.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
So now he legitimately got to watch it all go through. And we wouldn't have known about this kid had it not been for Max doing what he's doing now.
And he's seen it from both sides.
Both sides.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love these stories. These are awesome. Hey, I think you should get together and write a book.
We've often, like Kelli would love to do like little short video stories called Stories from the Lamp, and basically just telling everybody kind of both sides, insides, backsides, family sides. It's more than just a wish.
Well, how about a chicken soup, like a chicken soup for the I don't want to say cancer soul, but you know what I mean?
For the patient's soul.
For the patient's soul. Those suffering from cancer or something along those lines. I think that would be just phenomenal. I love the chicken soup series.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah.
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 Nice. Well, we could go on and on because we have stuff to share.
Absolutely.
I still have more questions.
I have 300. We've done 366 wishes since 2012, so I have no shortage of stories.
Wow.
And each one of those wishes was represented by a banner at the Knicks home run.
Yes.
And I got to show some of those off on the video that we took on the day of the event, which was October 12th, I believe, if I remember right.
Yep.
So all of those wishes granted were represented by a banner at that event. And I hesitate to use the word overwhelming, but it was a little overwhelming. I mean, it's something to see and realize the impact that Nick's Wish has made over 13.
And I can't tell you the number of new and returning runners who came up to me and said, I absolutely love that throughout our run, I get to see the Wish kids. It really keeps me going on my run because I look at them and I'm like, if you can fight what you fought, I can do this run.
Yeah.
And so it's just that seeing that inspirational connection for the runners too. And it just those that know that they're going to be up, they enjoy seeing them and looking at them. And those that are first time runners, they're blown away.
Yeah. And that was my first experience seeing it all firsthand myself this year. So it was like, wow, this puts it really, really into perspective. I don't know that we'll be doing any running on December 4th. Not planned anyway, but we invite you to come and join us at Cliffbreakers Event Center on Wednesday evening, December 4th, starting at 5:30, and tickets are only $10 to be a part of this very special Nick's Wish Appreciation Night and Holiday Fundraiser, our annual Christmas party with the In Crowd 815 networking group. And we've got some great, awesome sponsors, UW Health being the premier event sponsor this year. We're also, I can also thank right now, like Landscape Connection and Security Pro Intel and Jessica at Envoy Mortgage, Alpine Body Shop, all jumping in to support things, sponsor things that are going to be a part of this evening. And we really, really appreciate everyone stepping up and saying, yep, I want to be a part of this again.
And Greg, if they can't sponsor or can't attend, we are having a silent auction. We would love for your business to put together a silent auction basket or bring us some gift cards. Just connect with me personally and I can arrange to get those from you. It will be an online version. So the cool things, it's not just going to be seen by people in the room. It'll be an online platform. And anytime we do a silent auction, it goes nationwide because while we're locally based, we grant wishes nationwide. And so there's a lot of times we ship some of the winning prizes out across the nation from some of our other auctions. So definitely need auction prizes. Let me know.
Cool. Good deal. Take advantage of that if you wish. Right. The links are in the chat and you can go right to the website and order tickets. Again, they're only $10. Buy a bunch, buy 5 or 10 and bring some friends and know that you're going to meet some great people on December 4th at Cliffbreakers. So anything we didn't ask you about before we get into some Tom trivia? Tammy, we got some trivia to do.
Okay. Nope. I think I'm good.
I do know that Joanne logged in, but she's not currently in front of her camera. So I don't know where she went off to. And if she heard me, she'd be running back to the camera right now. So she must be, but we'll get her on when she comes on. So, all right, Tom, let's go ahead and rearrange the screen a little bit.
Let's rock and roll. You ready?
All right.
Am I answering these too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The only one that's excluded is Greg if he knows the answer, because I want to give you the opportunity to look silly.
Okay, I'm sure.
I am kidding. I always try to make sure the questions are not so outrageous that you feel like, oh, gee, really? I have a college degree and I don't even know, I mean, sometimes the smartest people can feel like they're not so smart, and that's just not the case. Trivia is trivia. You either know it or you don't or whatever. All right, here we go. This is an easy one. Well, I don't know, maybe not. Question number 1, comic book characters. Which comic book character came first? Was it Spider-Man or the Flash?
Oh, wow.
And Gregors, you can answer if you want, if you don't know it. If it's a question that you know that you and I have talked about or something, that's all I'm saying. So once again, which comic book character came first? Was it Spider-Man or the Flash?
I'm going with the Flash.
Gregors, what about you?
I never really was big into the comic book characters thing, so I completely don't know this. And I agree with Tammy. I think the Flash probably came first, and then the Spider bit somebody, and Spider-Man was created years after Flash.
Well, believe it or not, the Flash came out in 1940. Okay. Spider-Man, 1962.
All right.
So, ding, ding, ding.
Give us
all right. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Now, we're all of a certain age, so that's okay. Maybe not you, Tammy. I don't know. I know how old I am. I know how old Greg is. But so this here, probably didn't see either of them. I didn't. Dustin Hoffman movies. Which Dustin Hoffman movie came first? Was it Midnight Cowboy or The Graduate?
Ooh, that's a good one. Joanne's ready now. I think Joanne can help us with this Dustin Hoffman question.
All right, Joanne.
I'm sorry, I was playing with cats.
That's okay. That's an acceptable excuse. That's good. I'll ask the question again for the benefit of Joanne.
I heard it. Yeah.
Okay. And did you hear the first one about which came first, Spider-Man or the Flash?
Oh, I guess I know.
Okay. Well, we already answered that one. Take a guess. Spider-Man or the Flash?
Who is
Flash.
first?
Flash is correct. You're right in
Good
line.
job. All
All right. So, which, once again, Dustin Hoffman movie, which came first, Midnight Cowboy or The Graduate?
I know in The Graduate he was the young guy. He was
Yeah.
so I want to say that, but I don't know how old
I
he
don't.
was in the Midnight.
I feel
Cowboy.
like I need to go Midnight Cowboy because I have no clue what it is.
Right.
Well, Midnight Cowboy is a movie where he goes, I'm walking here, and the
Oh.
taxi driver is about to run him over.
Huh.
And then The Graduate, of
Maybe
course, is,
young in both of them.
well, he was. There's 2 years difference between the two.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Tammy's thinking Midnight Cowboy.
I am. I'm going
I'll-
Midnight
I'm
Cowboy.
going to pick The Graduate just to be different.
Okay.
All right.
Eggers, you're the tiebreaker here.
Yeah. No. Gosh. No. I'm gonna go with the Midnight Cowboy one because I don't know what that one is. It's the X factor for me.
Joanne gets the point. The Graduate was
good
1967,
job, Joanne.
and Midnight Cowboy was 1969.
All right. All right.
All right.
Joanne's got two.
Here's a good one. Here's a fun one. Which comedic female author wrote the following? If life is a bowl of cherries, why am I always in the pits? It's so funny. I love that title. Once again, which comedic female author wrote the following? If life is a bowl of cherries, why am I always in the pits? Who wrote it?
Was she also a newspaper columnist?
You know,
Oh,
that's
I
who
can't
I
answer
was
that.
thinking of. I can't think of her name.
That would be unfair to answer that. Yay or
Well,
nay.
We don't even
That's
get
what-
any options of names.
Well, the first name that jumped into my brain was Irma Bombeck.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't remember. I don't know that I would call her a comedic
Comedic author. Yeah.
author, but I could. I don't know. So that's someone like her wrote that. I just don't know if it was her or not.
I've heard of it, but I have no clue.
I would probably be inclined to say go with your hunch. Irma Bombeck is the answer.
Nice.
Alright.
Yeah. Good job, Greg.
I believe you guys are, well, as a group, you've
As
got
a
them
group.
all so far because Joanne saved your bacon on the last one. All right.
Because I had
Now,
to be different.
now we have two Nick questions. Okay? Two Nick questions, and they have nothing to do with Nick's Wish. They're just Nick questions. All right, here we go. I mean Nick's Wish because we're doing the Nick's Wish. Okay, Santa Claus has many names. One of them is Saint Nick or Saint Nicholas. Where, or in this case, which country did the story of Saint Nick begin?
Ooh.
Was it?
I was going to say Holland, but Germany?
I thought
No,
it was Austria. I thought it was Austria.
Okay, you guys are all kind of in the general area. Obviously, it was Eastern European. I'm going to give you one hint. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Help me.
If you think about it, it's a really good hint.
That's the hint.
The country of Turkey.
Turkey is it.
Oh,
Turkey is it.
Turkey.
Yes.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right. Here we go. Okay. This
I had no
particular
idea.
this particular Nick is the host of The Masked Singer. He has 12 kids with with 6 different women and was once married to Mariah Carey.
Carey.
Who is it?
What is his name?
I know this one.
This
I
is the
see his
best-
face.
This
I know
is the
his
best
face.
part of trivia. It's right there, but if it's on the tip of your tongue, just put a mirror up to your face.
I'll give you a hint. His last name is a weapon.
Yeah, a weapon of war.
His last name
Oh my gosh.
is a rather
Masked
large
Singer, 12
a
kids,
rather large weapon.
and and used to be married to Mariah Carey.
I can't remember his name.
Any idea, Joanne?
No, not at all.
Gregors, go ahead.
His name is Nick Cannon.
Nick
Cannon.
Cannon. What I was going to do,
Oh.
I was going to do Nick Cannon hosts this show. Would you
Oh,
have gotten
yeah.
it then?
Yeah. Oh, Masked Singer. Easy.
The
Yeah.
Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now
And
we
that
are
was a
down
fun
to
part of our trivia, our trivia karaoke contest, because the way that we put it out there, it made people think we were going to be singing with masks on, and that's not what we did at all.
yeah. The
and
mask
turned
was
out-
the actual team
the
that was
team.
yeah.
Yes. So,
All right, here's a local one. I like to keep it local. We always do one local one, or depending, we'll sometimes do one Packer one. I'll probably go back to Packers next week. Oh no, it'd be a bye week next week, so whatever. All right, Collins Aerospace used to be called Sunstrand.
Yeah.
When did Sunstrand become Collins Aerospace? What year? You want? Yeah, maybe I'll give you hints, okay?
Is that at pause? Is you got meows going on at pause, Joanne?
Oh, it's my
I don't
grandkids.
think
I got my two
Oh.
grandsons and one of my granddaughters here,
It's the
and
one
they
of the
are
grandkids.
just having the time of their lives. All right, once again, Collins Aerospace used to be called Sunstrand. What year did Sunstrand become Collins Aerospace? Was it 2016, 2018, or 2020? Or as Barbara Walters would say, 2020.
Yeah.
Funny, I was just
2016.
I was just going to guess 2017, and now you've bookended.
2016.
You've bookended it.
No,
So I'm
you
going to
accept the point.
yeah.
Okay, you said 2016.
Yeah,
Your
I'm gonna
guess
guess-
doesn't count.
Mine doesn't count. Yeah, so I'll go with 16.
2018 is correct.
Joanne gets out of
Oh.
Joanne shows up in the bottom of the ninth inning
Dang.
and hits a home run and wins it for everybody. Way to go, Joanne.
Good job,
2018.
Joanne. Good job, Joanne.
Wasn't
Yes.
it something else before Collins Aerospace? Though it was Sunstrand, then I thought it was
Yes,
something else.
there was
I think
something
you're
else
right.
before
I think
Collins.
it might have started with an H.
Hamilton.
Hamilton Sunstrand. Yeah.
Hamilton
Sunstrand.
Sunstrand.
That is right.
That's what
yeah.
it was. Hamilton
Yeah.
Sunstrand. So it still was Sunstrand, but no, good point, Joanne. That's excellent.
Let's see if this works.
So yeah, Hamilton Sunstrand. You're right.
Oh, look, it worked. All right. There's our Facebook event page for those who might be looking for it. This is what you're going to see when you click on that link that I put in the chat this morning. We are coming up on December 4th, Wednesday, December 4th, just a little over a month away. It's a Wednesday night at the Riverview Inn and Suites at Cliffbreakers Event Center on December 4th. Tickets are just $10.
I can't wait to go in there and see it. I won't be able to make the thing because I work on Wednesday nights. I have trivia on Wednesday nights, but I will get in there at one point and see it. I may stop by that night just to see it. Who knows?
That's good. It's a nice place. They've done a really
Yeah.
good job there, and they're hoping by this time next year to have the restaurant reopened again.
Oh.
They've got to get their events back up to speed before they can justify the expense of building back out the restaurant.
Right.
They've got a great chef. They've got a great team going there. So hopefully this will be one of those things that they can point to and say, see, this is worth doing. We've got great events going back to Cliffbreakers, and the view of the river is still absolutely wonderful there at the spot. So all right. Well, any final thoughts before we let you go today, Tammy?
I don't think so. I just hope that everybody will come out and check us out at Cliffbreakers on December 4th. December 4th is the day after December 3rd. And in nonprofit world, that's one of the biggest days of the year. It's Giving Tuesday. So either Picnic's Wish to give back to, or one of the other, how many? 130 some nonprofits in the area.
There's a lot.
Find a nonprofit you're passionate about. Giving Tuesday really helps nonprofits wrap up fiscally for the year. So definitely pick a nonprofit to contribute to. And if you don't have the money, contribute your time.
I forget the exact stat, but it's something like like 90% of nonprofits make over 90% of their donations in the month of December.
Yes.
So it's huge.
It's huge.
It's a huge month. So.
And for us this year, our Giving Tuesday will be focusing on making sure that we have funds in our urgent fund kind of pile. So that way, when we do have a hospital that calls and says, we got a kid who's needs a last wish, they're not going to be around long. We know we've got those urgent funds there to say yes to that wish.
Nice. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, bring joy. nixwish.org. Check out that as well. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody on December 4th.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tammy. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Have a great day.
You too.
There goes Tammy English with Nix Wish and the 815 nixwish.org. What a great organization. What a great team to be a part of. So awesome. Yeah, we survived last week's show without guests. We did well. Thank you for jumping on and just conversing. It's been quite a while since the three of us just had a show with just the three of us.
Well, I think we should do a little more of that. Not that the guests are great, but every once in a while, I think we need to do that.
No, exactly. And for those who might not remember, when we started doing this as just a podcast in 2020, there was a lot of shows that didn't have guests at all.
Right.
And
It was kind of rare when we did have a guest. You are correct.
Exactly.
I look at Ash Turkey. We'll give her credit for that. Hi, Ash. How you doing, honey? That's my niece. And I appreciate her checking in. Greg, what I had suggested to you, I don't know if I said it on the air last week, 2 weeks ago, or if I was talking to you on the phone. We need to have a week where for the week we'll say, okay, submit your questions. And then you read the questions on the air. Ask the hosts anything. And then we have to answer the questions.
That open invitation. Absolutely.
What's that?
Truth or dare.
Yeah, truth or dare. How about like spin the bottle. I had to make sure the lid was on it.
There you go.
It landed on Joanne. Never mind. Better watch it. I'm gonna pour something on my computer. No, I just said, where are you from? What school did you go to? How this? How that? How'd you get involved in the business you're in now? Stuff like that. Nothing too intrusive. Like, hey, have you ever been to jail?
Yes, I've been to jail. I'll raise my hand on that.
Okay, so here's a funny story. I don't know how much time we got, but
All right.
I am one of the rare individuals, maybe one of only a handful in the world, who have been at the Dixon State School / Dixon Prison for two different things. Number one, my sister, mentally challenged from birth, she lived there when it was Dixon State School, a home for mentally challenged individuals. And then when I worked for Coca-Cola a number of years ago, I did Dixon. That was my account. I had to bring my big truck in there. They have a big bay. They check it out, make sure you're not smuggling something in or out. And then I would go and deliver to the different prison areas. It was the freakiest thing in the world. I did that for a couple of years. So and the funny thing is I worked for Coca-Cola. So I tell people, I was at Dixon prison a couple of years, delivering Coke and stuff. And that was and people look at me. I'm like, okay, I'm kidding around with that. I was working for Coca-Cola.
It's a joke. Yeah, exactly.
Now I'd be the trifecta if I became a prisoner there. Wow.
Let's avoid that.
Let's avoid that. It's not even a nice place to visit, let alone want to live there.
I'm sure there was weeks when you were delivering. It's like somebody's going to climb inside this.
No,
I went to Dixon as a college tour because I had my degree in special ed. So we took a tour to the Dixon home. I don't know if it still exists, does it?
Well, not that. It's a prison now, is what that whole complex. I don't know if they have a place for them. No, my sister came to Milestone, which is here in Rockford now.
Oh, okay.
When Milestone was built back in.
And then most of the kids went local, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they just spread them all out. And that place was closed for a short while, and then it opened up as a prison. Now, one other quick story. This will kind of freak you out. I got there late one day. I got there at about 3:45. The rule is you get there after 4, you're not going to let you in. Well, it was 4:45, 20 to 4. I got in there, and it happened to be a commissary day, which means I had to do the pop machines that I would normally do. Plus, I had to deliver like 100 cases to the commissary. So I was going to be in there for a good long time. Well, I was in there, and about 4:45, I was just about done. The guard says, well, you're going to have to come with us. We can't get you out yet. I had to go into the mess hall with 400 to 500. And by the way, from my understanding, what makes it a maximum security is the amount of prisoners. This was maximum security. They had about 500 prisoners, all in this massive lunchroom, all with their blue prison uniforms on. And I'm standing there on a line with about 20 guards, all armed. That was the freakiest thing I think I've ever gone through in my life.
Like, why?
Nope,
Why?
I'm out. I don't ever want to. Nope, I promise you I will never rob a bank. I promise you that. Wow.
Nice.
That was creepy. Weird.
Well, I do know that our local church here, City First, they do God Behind Bars there, and they have a serve team that does services every week. I believe they do them on Saturdays. I don't think they do them on Sundays, but they do have an app that the inmates can use to watch live services.
Nice.
So it's Dixon and Harvey Correctional Facilities are both a part of what City First serves for church services every week.
Oh, that is awesome.
Pretty cool. Well, you got stuff going with the kids.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm one of those that when a kid cries in church, I'm like, can you shut that kid up now?
No.
Crying baby is the most beautiful sound in the world. Unless it's crying because it wants mommy or whatever, but if it's got a dirty diaper and mom hasn't changed it for an hour, well, now I'm a little mad. But
That's right.
No,
That's right.
what do they say about a crying baby in a church? Is that's a living church?
That church is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That
because
church
it's
is
got
alive.
the future.
Well,
Right.
We can I think now officially, because it's on Facebook, share that the date of the Fur Ball has been picked for Paw's annual Fur Ball event.
Yeah, baby.
February 15th. Mark your calendars.
Perfection in purple.
Pawfection in purple. Mark your calendars for an evening of fun, fundraising, and furry friends. Details coming soon.
I can't even say that. Fundraising, fine food, and frivolity.
Wow, nice. Joanne, do you have an early line on who the entertainment will be? I know that
they claimed it was me dancing on the stage, but I do not remember that. They said I was dancing on the stage with Eric Wilson.
There you go.
Okay, were you drunk? No, you weren't drunk.
No, I don't drink that much.
I know, I'm only kidding you. Minimal has been there for the last 1,000 years,
no,
but they weren't there.
They're not doing minimal because of the cost.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say they weren't there last year.
Have a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Details coming soon, but mark your calendar. Save the date, February 15th. It's always a good time, and we'll look forward to the February 15th Fur Ball for Paws Humane Society. Anything else you wanted to throw out there, Joanne, before we wrap this up? Oh.
I have to show you this one cat.
All right, let's
because I don't think this kitten will be here for very long. Where'd they go?
You weren't kidding.
Magical cats.
Oh, I don't know. I think he is the cutest cat in the world, but the sun is. Let me see if I can. Kelly's going to get him.
Adorable.
He looks like a werewolf.
Oh my God! I want him.
I'm not doing well with this.
Like days old. Go. Wow.
Not quite ready for adoption. Nope, not yet. This is Kelly, one of our volunteers.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi. She actually knows. She actually knows Greg. I think she works with Greg's wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
She's
what's the cat's name? Wolf? Wolfie?
I'm not quite sure because he's got a brother that looks just like him. So he's either Zook or Zayden. Because Zayden is in here too, and they look a little bit alike. So, but
Wow, look at that.
you
Oh my
got
God.
both of them. He's just got a fun little look. So, but I wanted to show you, and of course we got Carmel here. Oversized cats, yeah. Carl says, please take me home. But no, so just a quick. I think I have to mirror this.
Wrap up your October numbers.
Yeah, they haven't taken it away yet. So 4 dogs. Last month it was 10, but we had that adoption event at Lou Background. I think there were 8 dogs adopted that day. And then the cats. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18 cats. So pretty much even. So, of course, here's our wall of. And I know I didn't send a cat of the month last week. I was too busy worrying about something.
That's understandable. And I was busy with the grandkids in Texas. That was we both had stuff going on.
But I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you guys were all worried because of course you were, but my daughter was able to trap her cat Barney, who had gotten away, and I borrowed a trap from Paws, and we were able to, they were able to catch him. So that made everybody happy.
Well, that's good. And I have a cat named Barney too.
Oh, it's a good name for a cat.
But he got his name because my son brought it home from a friend of his. His parents owned a barn, and he was born in a barn, so I named him Barney.
I don't know why, why Barney was Barney or Barney is Barney, but I actually was working my daughter said, gave me those famous words, Mom, if you find a cat that you think would be a good cat for us.
that took all of about 12 hours.
I happened to be at the shelter when someone brought Barney in, and he was a Maine Coon. So beautiful cat. I mean, he's huge. He's a big cat. And he was, of course, not neutered. He had come in as a stray. And so I told Sue, I'll foster him. And he was such a beautiful cat. And my granddaughter was 2, and she wanted a cat. And I said, I think this would be the cat. And he loves my granddaughter. They are inseparable. And
well, you've got a couple meet and greets scheduled for today on the Facebook page for dogs.
Yeah. The
Jordy
one,
and Hazel.
Jordy is kind of a sad story. His owner died, and the 3 dogs were kind of in the home for a while before they realized that their owner, I don't know how to say it in a nice way. They were left in the home where the owner had died. Wow.
So there's for those watching this live today, there's a meet and greet at Paws for those 2 dogs. And then, of course, submit an application for pre-approval for any of these pets through pawshs.org/adoption. We've got that link in the chat today as well. So always stuff going on at Paws. All right.
So I got to ask Ashley, is that Cawdor, or was it like a misspelling? Is it Chowder or what? I've never heard of Cawdor. Cawdor. I can ask her off there. I can call her later. But I just
Yeah, I
wanted
don't
to.
think that kitten is a Maine Coon. Because most aren't Maine Coon kind of. Yeah, I don't think it's a Maine Coon, but it's an adorable kitten. Chowder. Maybe
All
she
right.
named it Chowder.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just
Maine-
wondering
from Maine.
if she might have just accidentally, fat fingers or something. Which I know she doesn't have fat fingers. I do.
I
Uncle
do.
Tom does. But anyway, I just that's just one of my weird OCD questions.
I gotcha. All right, well, let's wrap things up and do this before we go. Our current race to 10 with a tie score of 6-6. We haven't had a race like this in a long time where you guys are just neck and neck back and forth.
Cowdor. Oh, Cowdor.
Cowdor. Okay, Cowdor.
Pronounced
Cow-
Cowdor.
From
Oh, it's
Oh, see now that's highbrow. I don't. I've never read Poe. Come on, no, I'm kidding. I know it's Shakespeare. I'm kidding.
Cowdor.
That's good. Our big number of the week this week, friends, is 220 billion, and the answer is vacuum or virtual. And I have Tom's answer via text, Joanne. So I need yours now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Virtual.
Oh my goodness, you're both going with virtual this week. Okay, so you're both getting a point, or you're both not getting a point. The average person, and this is our kind of a real estate thing. The average person takes only 38 seconds to judge your home. So if you're having guests over for a party, or if you're selling your house and people are walking through it, the average person takes only 38 seconds to judge your home. And what's one of the things they're going to notice? They're going to notice if you've vacuumed. They're going to notice if your windows are dirty and if there's this funny smell. Smell probably at the top of that list. That's one of the first things people notice when they walk in the front door. This house smells different. Is it good or bad, or just odd, or just different?
Is it apple pie or is it rotten moldy apple pie?
Yeah. That's. I don't know if you had the same experience that I did when I was growing up, but my best friends' houses all smelled different and very distinctive. It's like I don't know if my best friend's mom always cooked with a certain spice, or if my other buddy's mom always cleaned with a certain product that just always smelled the same. But there was always a distinctive smell in their houses, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was just distinctive. But yeah, funny smell. Windows dirty, vacuuming, 38 seconds. That's usually all it takes. You're both getting points because, yeah, virtual is the answer this week. If you're making any in-game purchases to acquire more coins or improved weapons or nicer clothes for your virtual self, you're not alone. Around the world this year, the digital goods market is expected to be over $220 billion. $220 billion spent on virtual things for the games that people are playing on their phones and on their devices, and that's only going to continue to grow. Anyway, I'm not one of those that would be buying stuff like that. I don't. No, that's not for me. Anyway,
Is that like years ago I used to be like the Farmville game where you had to fence the sheep that never moved. So I remember being very addicted to that game. I don't have any games now that I play like that. I play Wordle every day.
I do too, and I've missed the last, not missed, but just missed doing it. Not like got the answer wrong. I missed, like, over the last 3 weeks, probably 10 of them. I've just been so crazy busy lately.
Well,
my streak was stopped at 110. I've been a little mad.
That's pretty much my only game, quote unquote, addiction is playing Wordle pretty much every single day. I rarely
that and Sudoku, but I do it with.
That's kind of good because you play it once. I mean, you just play it once and then you're done for the day. It's not like another game where trying to.
Keep
I don't
going,
know how
keep going,
to.
keep going.
If you download the Wordle app, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and pretty soon, within a few days, you get burned out.
That's why
And
I didn't download the
I
app.
don't play the New York one or the New York Times one. I play one online. But
Okay.
Well, the one I play it comes right to my. I just
I
go
like-
in and hit Wordle on my Google, and then it
Yep.
takes me to that same one.
Yep.
I think
Oh,
that's the way most people do it.
Wordle and Quirtle. Those are the two I try to play. I usually play every day. I like playing Quirtle too, especially the sequence one where you try to get 4 words at the same time.
I was playing Turtle, but it was just too slow. Thank you. I'm here all week. Gregor, Greg, do you have 5 minutes after the show off the air? It doesn't have to be, but I got
Okay.
some questions for you, probably off
All
the air.
All right, let's do that. Next
Okay.
week, Samantha Alloway is going to join us. She's from the ARC of Illinois. What does the ARC do? So you've probably seen their signs and ARC of Winnebago County and different events that they've done and promotions they've done over the years. But maybe you don't know what the ARC does and who they are. So we're going to learn all about the ARC, A-R-C of Illinois from Samantha Alloway next week here on the show.
They carry animals 2x2, right?
That's what I assumed, but I got a feeling we're both wrong. And remember, our new merch website is up and active on the interwebs, incrowd815.com, which I haven't put up on the chat for a while, so I'm going to do that right now, real quick. Check out our website. It's thanks to our friends at Saunders Media. I might have a connection there. We've got a great website and a merch site, all available on incrowd815.com, and there it is right there. I hope that you can check that out when you get a chance. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same and meet you back here next week for another InCrowd 815 podcast. Have a great weekend, Joanne, Tom. Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No,
In crowd, 815. In crowd.